here's the extremely good problems. And we got a piece of wire that's 16 inches. Okay? Got a piece of wire that's 16 inches. And it's got to be cut into two parts. And you certainly are not allowed to cut it in the middle, because that's a giveaway. That's, if you cut it in the middle, you got what? You got 8 inches of wire.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to cut it not in the middle.
Okay.
And each piece will be bent into a square. Find the expression that represents the total area of the two squares made with a piece of wire as a function of the length x of one of the pieces. Do you understand what it's saying? This is chapter 1, section 4 quiz. You should be able to open it up and look at it.
Is that 2 wires or 1 wire?
May I mention something to you while we're at this point, okay? Something that you may not have thought about, but after you leave here today, I hope that you do think about it. And no matter what you have, I don't care if it's a stick or a piece of wire or whatever, I want you to think about something, that cutting that piece in the middle is not anything special. But in every object, like that piece of wire, there is a magical spot that you can take a pair of cutters and you cut it at that magical spot. That it's so magical that books have been written about it. Books have been written about that magical spot. And that magical spot is called the golden ratio. It is where the longest piece divided by the total piece is equal to the length of the shorter piece divided by the long piece.
Repeat that. The longest piece?
No, but rather than me repeat it, what I want you to do is go look up the golden ratio. Just go look up the golden ratio. Books have been written on this golden ratio. It is the most magical number ever. It's such a magical number that books have been written about it.
1.6180.
Yes. Is 1 point. Why do you think that they made cards 3 by 5 and 5 by 8? Did you realize that you could take a whole bunch of rectangles, of different size rectangles, and you could spread them on a table and have somebody look at it and say, which one of the rectangles do you like the best? Which one is the most pleasing to your eye? In other words, don't think about looking at them, but just the very first one that you think is the most pleasing to your eye. And guess what? You will choose the one with the golden ratio. The closer to the golden ratio will be the one you choose. I don't know why, but if I was in the advertising business, every ad that I put up, every billboard that I installed, would be nothing more than what? The golden ratio. And if they're not doing that, and they're not, then somebody is making a big mistake. Somebody don't know enough about the golden ratio. They need to read the golden ratio. Read the books, yes.
So you're trying to say that the average billboard has to do with the golden ratio? That's how it
Well,
works,
I
right?
would hope so. I've never climbed up on one and measured it. But I would hope and pray that somebody that's in the business of what? Advertising would know about the golden ratio.
I mean, how would you find them? You just-
Huh?
How would you find them? How do you find the golden ratio? Like 3 by 5?
It's just-
Or 3
It's
by
A
Yeah.
plus B.
Divide the 5 by 3.
Wow.
Divide the 8 by 5. And the closer you get,
Is that number?
right here.
Golden
See what
ratio.
she's doing here? Looking up the golden ratio, 1.61.
A plus
It's
B.
an irrational number. That's why you'll never cut it exactly on that spot,
Mhm.
because that's an irrational number. No matter where you cut it, you're not gonna cut it on that exact spot. But it'll be, you have to try to get it as close as you can.
Okay.
What's it say?
What is this formula?
Phi is equal to 1 plus the square root of 5 divided by 2. 1 plus the square root of 5 divided by 2. That is the golden ratio. You really need to read a lot about it. It's incredible.
Sounds like a bonus question to me.
They used it in the Parthenon. They used it in a lot of the architect. They knew about it BC. They knew that was a magical ratio.
The Greeks actually came up with it. Huh? Because I actually knew that. The Greeks actually came up with it. That's the golden ratio.
So it's time to go.
Oh.